Like I said earlier, there's a lot of things in this soil. Now that we've taken our soil sample and gotten it tilled up, sent our soil sample off, still trying to decide what we're going to do as far as fertility. Now's the time to go out there, and there's just not any other way to do this than manually dig around. There's going to be sprouts, cut them off. There's going to be rocks. I know I hit a few rocks. There's one spot out here that is a pretty good stump. Tiller bounced pretty good whenever I did that, hit it in, so I know that it's going to need to be dug out, or at least dug down and cut off. Something to keep it from just growing right up and competing. If you can starve it for sunlight, keep it cut off, it'll eventually die away. This is really about as much size of a garden as what anybody really needs if there's going to be that much handwork in there. Of course, it would really be a lot of work if I didn't have a tiller that was on the back of a tractor. So if you're going to be starting a garden where there hadn't been one before, make sure that somehow you can rent a tiller. Maybe you have someone that you know that has a tiller that you can get them to come and till it up for you to begin with, because a lot of the just plain old shoveling by hand takes a lot of the fun out of it, and you want to save that labor for cutting the roots off and some of that kind of stuff. There are lots of different tillers. All of them will pretty well do the job. It's just a matter of the length of time that it takes you. I've had that tiller for a long time, done a lot of things with it. There are a lot of people with newer, better tillers. That one is about 32 years old. But the big thing is to get a tiller. Now also, whenever you get your soil sample back and sling the fertilizer out, you kind of need to till it in too. So it's best if you have someone or you know, get it done. You can at that time shovel the stuff in, but it's a whole lot easier with a tiller. There's all different kinds of tillers, just like there's all different kinds of lawnmowers. Nearly all of them, you pay for what you get, and you pay for the convenience, just like you do a lawnmower. That's really a lot of people have tillers, so you know, my advice would be don't jump out and go buy a brand new tiller when you're just getting started on something this size. You may not want to do it in the future, and there's too many people around that have tillers. As far as things that you add to a garden, it's real easy on something like this to put way too much manure or something like that. So it's not one of them things that you want to overdo, because you're better off with this with just a little fertilizer on it than you are to put way too much manure or way too many leaves or way too much of something. So take it easy that way, plant a little something, enjoy it. We'll probably come back and revisit this in the future whenever there's tomato plants growing, because there's a lot of things about this that you can already see is going to be not the best growing conditions, to say the least. So I'm sure there'll be a little bit of problems with it. Of course, one thing about it, nothing has grown here in the past, and that's one thing that first-year gardeners have a luxury over someone that has had something for 3 or 4 or 5 years. Is there's not a lot of septoria and other diseases around that will be affecting tomatoes or other plants, because there hadn't been anything growing here for a while, so that disease cycle has been broken. But we'll come back and look and see, with too much shade and everything that'll go on here, we'll come back and kind of look at it and probably have a little bit of things that we can relate to you about other questions that I've had through the growing season later on, whenever we get into the gardening a little more full time.